Now we review Universal Basic Guys Episode 4, Guys Day. So ladies and gentlemen, I have watched the 4th episode of Universal Basic Guys, and if you are not familiar with this cartoon, it is about two guys who used to work at a hot dog... I think it's the two guys who used to work at a hot dog factory that was taken over by robots, and now they get a universal basic income of $3,000 a month so that they can go out there and amuse us with their stupidity. This particular episode involves Thumbhead's wife. You have your two guys. There's Thumbhead, his brother, there to eat up screen time. And then you have, in touch with his feminine side man, who generally has a lot of problems, and a few other recurring characters of Useless. You see more characters in this episode than you ever see before, but primarily this is about Thumbhead and his attempt to get into a very exclusive golf club because they wouldn't let his wife in, and he sees something he can't have and is stupid about it. And for some reason, the thing that bothers me the most about this episode is the fact that this guy was able to get $500,000 to join this club, and join this club with $500,000. You know, this is everything you would expect from something this dumb. You know, it's like, okay, he's going to join the club, and they're not going to like him there, and whatever's going to happen is going to happen. And the wife, this whole started because the wife isn't allowed to join the club because it's a men's club. And they're going to eventually she's going to get to, women are going to be let in the club. We just know that from the fact that this is the kind of show this is. The B plot, which involves the wives of the billionaires that run this club, is probably the most interesting and yet sad part about it, because it shows these characters as being ridiculously self-centered. The self-centered world that they live in, where, you know, what's important to her is that she doesn't get to golf at this golf club, not, you know, saving women around the world from a life of tyranny. So not a lot happens in this. You know, it's like there have been a lot of the memes that happen, the things that are supposed to be funny, happen in this episode. And, you know, the very last shot of this episode was something that I had seen in the commercials for this TV show, which is bad. Typically speaking, the further you have to reach for parts for your commercial, the worse something is. That's just one of those things about it's not universally true, but it is how things are. So if you're using things for your commercial, your trailer for a movie, you generally want to stick to the first 30 minutes, if possible the first 10 minutes. And the reason for that is that after that, you know, people are saying, hey, you know, what's going on here? When is that scene's going to happen? And it's an important scene. So, you know, you looked at that scene and it's like, okay, you know that scene is going to happen in this particular episode. It destroys a lot of the buildup. And, I mean, on the one hand, not everybody who watches it is going to remember that or think of it that way. And on the other hand, yeah, but it is just so meh. This is probably my least favorite episode as so far of the 4. And, I mean, I watched it. I wanted to turn it off. And I finished it. And after I finished it, I was like, very appropriate response. So, Universal Basic Guys Day. This is uninspired. You know, it's not something you should really bother watching. It's low on the watch list. It's not absolutely terrible. It's just kind of sad and pathetic. It's a Jack in the Box bonus Jack of television. It fulfills all of the necessities, but in the end is just something that's tired and old and has been sitting under a heat lamp too long. Anyway, that's just my opinion, and I'd love to hear yours down in the comments below. I, of course, am Richard.
Randall the Rat here, reminding you to comment, like, and subscribe. And why should you do that? Well, look over here. These are bracelets from 4Ocean. Each one of them means a pound of trash was pulled out of the ocean. And this channel buys one for every 1,000 subscribers it gets. And this around my neck, well, this is a medal from the Conqueror. It represents walking around the Great Pyramids of Giza. You can get one for yourself by going to the Conqueror challenges.com and saying, hey, I want to pretend I walked around the pyramids of Giza without dealing with all the sweat and flies and delicious scarab beetles. Or you could support this channel so they can buy more of these, which means that they will plant trees, because each one of these represents 5 trees that got planted. Yeah, that's right, 5 trees, helping your environment. Global warming sucks. Be a good person, comment, like, and subscribe. Give us more money so that we can plant trees by buying medals from the Conqueror. Randall out.